An unknown vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. At precisely this moment, Captain? No. Within the next 60 to 90 seconds? Yes. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. Do you intend to board their ship instead, Captain? I have been programmed to appreciate the irony of this situation. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, as long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Understood, Captain. I will be deploying the Unreliable's lethal deterrence system. Please approach the airlock and enjoy the show. Now initiating warm welcome protocol.
Remind me to ask Ada what else she got trapped.
Got my head in the game, boss. Maybe we can talk when we're done here?
Assholes interrupted my beauty sleep.
I've been on the other side of a boarding dock enough to recognize amateurs.
I must say that there's been nary a dull moment since signing on with this crew.
I thought we were safe in the Aether. Oh, Law, I'm gonna have nightmares about this for weeks.
Like what it did with the place?
Take someone to watch your back, please.
Easy does it.
How many times do I have to tell you people, don't stand so close to the speaker? I can hear you breathing. The goons haven't played tossball for a decade. We're the freebooters. I'll admit, this attack hasn't gone strictly according to plan. But as we like to say in the league, no strategy survives contact with the opponent. Let's call this round a draw. You head back to your end of the field, I'll regroup my team, and we'll see where things take us in the second half. What do you say? Of course we're playing tossball. We're the freebooters. Tossball is what we do. Tossball and piracy. Here's the problem. I can't let you live, but as long as you're on my ship, you've got the advantage over us. So, we're at an impasse. Yeah? And how exactly are you gonna do that? All right, easy there, psychopath. Why don't we talk this over? Coach to coach. Come speak to me in my office, up through the cargo hold.
The Culligan's ready to see you. Head upstairs.
Hawthorne. All right, easy now. Let's just keep our weapons holstered like civilized people. I'll drop the tossball act and we can have ourselves a conversation like reasonable people. Long as you promise not to bloody up my floor. Deal?
Jackass!
It's all in the wrist.
You're an artist, Captain. done.
Shh.
Got my head in the game, boss. Maybe we can talk when we're done here?
Excuse me.
Welcome back, Captain. I understand you have resolved your differences with our former boarding party. Are you ready to depart? Understood, Captain. Resuming our course.
Hey, anybody out there? We're not here to hurt you.
Impressive as always.
Keep it together, Kelly. Just breathe, Kelly. Everything's gonna be all right. Ah! Stop making that noise. They'll hear you. Who's out there? Really? I would be indebted to you for life. But how do I know I can believe you? I'll have to come out to assess it myself. Hold on. I'm opening the door.
Let me just catch my breath. I swear, my heart's trying to punch its way out of my chest. Law, I'm so lucky you came along. I know it sounds crazy, but a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? Pink slip protocol. How should I know? I just monitor the front desk. Well, except for the last couple of days when I've been hiding out in here. If you work at OOPS, you're doing research and development. If we're not researching or developing fast enough, the protocol's there to put the fear in us. Somebody messed up. When one of us makes a mistake, the whole facility pays for it. I know it sounds harsh, but it was in our contracts and everything. Yep. Olympus Orbital Pharmaceutical Station. Auntie Cleo's naming and branding department's the best in Halcyon. I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire, 'cause no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. Right. Heck of a time for our first and only visitor to show up. Speaking of, why are you here? If I had to guess, you'd probably find his body either in his office or the labs. Or heck, he could have been on the toilet. I don't know. No bones about it, he was the smartest of us all. Maybe he evaded the automechs, too. Like what? Just a feeling I got. Every day was the same as every other day. I felt like I was stuck in a circle, you know? Started imagining what it'd be like to break that circle. Station goes in a circle around the planet, so what if I just dropped off the edge? But after what I've seen, after what happened, I don't want that anymore. I want to live. I'm not making anything. The research team, they were brewing up some improvement to Anticleo's anthracycline. Science stuff isn't really my area, though, so I don't know more than that. Do I ever? Drop me off on the groundbreaker and I'll be out of your hair in no time. Oh, thank you so much. I'll just hide in a crate or something. You won't even know I was there. Here, this is my official laboratory headgear. I won't be needing it anymore, so it's all yours.
Nice.
Hey, what would happen if this station fell into Olympus? Would we just keep falling forever? Just asking.
Nice.
Oh, that's the last of him.
Here's a little trick I learned in prison. the last of them. You're a deft hand for the mag pick. Great work. Nicely done. Great work. Yates, where did I put the... Oh, wait. That's the Yates instead. That's good. Yates, where did I put the... Oh, wait. tragedy, 2 teams is a blunder. You're a deft hand with a mag pick.
Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind, and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Am I rambling? That's somewhat concerning, but not necessarily unexpected. Logorrhea is a well-documented side effect of withdrawal. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? Memory loss, huh? I envy you. The closest I've come to amnesia is getting euphoric on Sky High, which is more like memory curation than memory loss. Right, that answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals?
This guy looks like he's had enough.
Look, we all know you're here to interrogate me. If I'm going to go through this ordeal, I'm not doing it sober. New friends mean new birthdays to keep track of, and I can't spare much room in my mind palace for frivolous trinkets of information. But in this case, I'll make an exception. You mean my inhaler? It's designed to deliver a highly concentrated dose of Sky High right through my respiratory system. The formula's still a work in progress. Clears my mind for a few precious moments. The rowdy tenants of my mind palace stop their chattering, and in that silence, I experience clarity. Inspiration through inhalation. That's Sky High, or it will be once I perfect my formula.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea, Captain.
Come on, boss. The guy's already hurting. Maybe we shouldn't be pushing him like this?
It's difficult to interrogate the dead.
Who's he, what's he now? Take an inhale? Yes, yes. An excellent suggestion. Much better. My mind is clear. So are my sinuses, in fact. Auntie Cleo instituted the Pink Slip Protocol. Fancy marketing term that translates to, we're not satisfied with the quality of your work, so we're revoking your lifetime contracts. Can you believe Auntie terminated my entire team? It's a terrible setback. For my team, I mean, not for me. Not this time. I'll continue the work on my own if need be. I'm, working on the task that I was hired to perform. I'm fulfilling my contractual obligations. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. Eventually. I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the project. I'm not lying. I'm carefully curating the truth for you. All right, listen. Auntie needs to be patient. I'll eventually get around to developing Anthracillin Plus. My priority right now is sky high. Once I perfect my formula, I'll be able to keep my mind functioning at peak performance without any pesky distractions. Like feelings. Auntie had been threatening to instigate Pink Slip Protocol for months, though I honestly didn't think they'd have the stones to do it. I was on the verge of giving Auntie the results she wanted. Well, almost on the verge. Approaching the verge. The point is, I didn't think this would happen. Before I was traded, I worked on Project Gorgon. I lost that team by attrition. Management turned the screw on my team. Forced me to fire 1 in 10 researchers. The few of us that remained were overworked and exhausted. We didn't have much of a security detail. I don't know how the Primals got loose, but my team didn't stand a chance. You've done your research. Yes. The unfortunately named Mr. Goodfellow decided his ego was more important than our research. We were designing a drug the likes of which Halcyon had never seen. A veritable panacea that cured lethargy and guaranteed a lifetime of productivity. I was overwhelmed, overworked, frustrated. Forced to submit unfinished samples, failing to meet impossible deadlines. The only people I knew were either struggling with the same problem or causing it. I started self-medicating to enable my genius to perform at a greater capacity, to forget, to endure, to feel nothing. Project Gorgon was in its final days when the Primals attacked our lab. It wasn't long until Spacer's Choice authorized my transfer to this facility. Human Inquiry was supposed to be responsible for testing Adrenatime. Under normal circumstances, the chem lab wouldn't have had to perform live tests. But Creative Incubation pressured my team with impossible deadlines. The prototypes we delivered to Dr. Blakesley at Human Inquiry were poor because we were rushed. I had to begin experimenting on my own. I had to perform my own tests, so I used Primals. They're not the best choice for test subjects, but I was working for Spacer's Choice. Whoever reached greatness by coloring within the lines. And besides, my lines often move around on the page. My point is, I was doing my job. I was doing science. I will continue to do so until my mind or my body expires. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants... I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the... Right. A few moments ago, when I thought you were a hallucination. To be perfectly honest, I was hoping you'd forgotten. Auntie needs to be patient. I'll eventually get around to developing Anthracillin Plus. My priority right now is sky high. Once I perfect my formula, I'll be able to keep my mind functioning at peak performance without any pesky distractions. Like feelings. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Dr. Olivia Ambrose was one of the finest scientists in the colony. If you're risking your life to retrieve her journal, there's likely a good reason. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Not that it's any of your business, but I don't get to quit. My colleagues are dead, and yet I live. So I don't get to quit. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want.
Wow. How'd you do that? Boss?
Got it. Heads down.
System sweeping the area.
Here they come!
No messes with you, boss!
This is bad! We were destined to prevail. I smite you in the name of the law! Sometimes violence is the only way!
Out of my way!
I'm not getting through!
Hit! I was just getting started.
Impressive as always.
Wasn't really following what you did there, but I guess it worked.
The facility's back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. Right, yes, of course. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. I suppose you've got a point. Or something resembling a point. I'm emotionally addled right now, and I'm allowing my sentiments to get the better of me. Here, my personal security keycard. There's a hallway near the processing room. It leads to a security terminal. Use this keycard to unlock the hallway and disable security. Did you snoop through my things? And just admit it to me. You do have gall, I'll give you that. Look, I keep a draft on my terminal where I vent my occasional frustrations with upper management. It's honestly one of my less detrimental coping methods, as I am not stupid enough to fill out the name in the address field. Even if I wanted to talk about Project Gorgon, I couldn't. All my memories of Gorgon are intact, but they're in disarray. Like a book with its pages shuffled. Making sense of those memories requires clarity of mind. Clarity that only Sky High gives me. To tell you everything I know, I'd have to be dangerously euphoric. All right, just one inhale. Easy does it, Jasper. Have you ever seen a lake as still and clear as a mirror? That's how my mind feels right now. The disaster at the chem lab was my fault. I tested Adrenatime on primals. I decimated my own research team. And I was a coward. I locked myself up in isolation. I told myself that I needed silence and solitude to perfect my formula for Sky High. But the truth is that I was ashamed. Nothing? Everything? I told myself I needed a drug to help me focus, help me work. The weight of guilt crushed my capacity to work, but if I didn't work, then I was worthless. Adrenatime was like that. It was designed and marketed as a necessity, an elixir of productivity. It made you feel guilty for not using it, and then hurt you when you used it. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I suppose you're right. I do need to relax. Up you go, old friend. And just like that, the demons of my mind have all gone silent. I'm a scientist. My entire life is built on the foundation that science is a force for good in the world. I believed in Project Gorgon. Spacer's Choice didn't. The compound that we discovered on Gorgon had all the makings of an elixir. It could have been the greatest medical achievement since the discovery of antibiotics. I'm saying Spacer's Choice never saw anything in Gorgon beyond profit. Adrenatime would have taken years to develop responsibly. We needed time, resources, room to make mistakes. Project leadership panicked at the first sign of a mistake. They gave us no resources, slashed our time in half, and demanded we produce anything marketable. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I shouldn't. Thank you, but I'm starting to reach the threshold of my tolerance. I'd have to clear my mind in order to answer your questions, and that requires a truly irresponsible dose of Sky High. And admittedly, a truly spectacular high. All right, I'll humor you. Indulge you even. For what better life could a scientist want than one spent answering questions? Up you go, old friend. The author, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, was one of the most brilliant minds in Halcyon. She wouldn't have kept a journal for something as tawdry as mere sentiment. Dr. Ambrose never made it out of Gorgon alive. That's the sort of thing that happened to the project's best minds. They were killed. They turned marauder. Or they became me. I don't want to know anything about Dr. Blakesley. My lab was a source of constant frustration for her. We were the reason Human Inquiry couldn't do its job. The OCI pressured my lab. Under pressure, we delivered poor samples to Human Inquiry. Human Inquiry tested poor samples on human beings, leading to adrenotime, leading to marauders. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. I can't tell you how badly I want another hit right now. I love how simple you make it sound. Cheers to at last freeing myself from the monotony of unremitting failure. You don't know how beautiful it is in my mind right now. No cares. No anxieties. No yesterday. No tomorrow. To forget time. To forget life. To be at peace. I have absolutely nothing to say. Possibly ever. There's nothing left for me to do. Nothing at all but to wait.
Hey, be careful!